What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we're talking about episode 7 of The Boys, The Insider. But before we get into all of that fun, Dave, Doug, how's it going, gentlemen?
Well, Keith, I gotta tell you, I am fan freaking tastic. Uh, what weird things have been going on in the world, and what weird things have been going on The Boys?
Was there any big news from this weekend? Anything?
Nah, I mean, somebody cut his ear with some glass. That's what I heard, and people we're all excited about it, running around on stage, So, maybe, people are excited, I guess. So, that's something going on. But I watched this episode of The Boys, and I just watched it. I was watching it right before we came on, so because I want to watch it again. Because the first time I watched it was like half and half, and then it felt like two different episodes.
Mm.
But you know what? I'm about to jump into it, and I'm gonna put it off until we're all talking about it. So, Doug, how are you? Did you hear anything
Well,
about this glass incident?
what do I think about the Glass incident? Well,
Did
I
you
did
hear
go
anything
see the
about it?
movie The Glass, Glass with you and Keith. We saw it in theaters, and I gotta say it was a pretty good movie. Not as great as, as I think we had hyped it up to be. It definitely had a few issues, and I kind of felt like M. Night dropped the ball a little bit. It could have definitely been better, for a movie that's supposed to be like the end of this trilogy of, what was it, Unbreakable, and then what was the one with the
Split.
hmm?
Split?
Split.
Split? Yes, that's it. I could not remember the name. Excellent. Split was, I think, phenomenal. Unbreakable was phenomenal. Glass should have been better, but it was all right.
Glass was good, right.
Okay.
Just didn't live up to
Hmm.
the hype.
Yeah.
I sure
But I
did.
cannot wait to talk about the boys with you, with my boys here.
Ah!
Because,
Ayo!
oh man, what a friggin' episode. It was crazy. And, uh, maybe a little bit too crazy for me. If you don't mind, I got to go review Bomb It Online real quick.
Why
Is
did you
you
wait
know
so
what?
long?
Well, I just realized that they're making my favorite character Homelander. They're turning him into a bad guy, and I don't appreciate it.
He is a true American patriot, and what they're
He
trying,
is, and if
the
you see something,
slander.
say something.
Could you put that into song for me?
If you see something,
Oh,
say something.
all right, A Train. That's enough. That's enough.
But Keith, sir, how are you?
Douglas, I am tremendous. Wonderful weekend of not working, enjoying the family and all the good things, rewatching the boys, loving where this season is going, because the end of last season kind of sputtered out a little bit, in my opinion. This
Yeah,
season
no,
does
I
not
agree.
seem to be doing the same thing. I was a little worried about it, but
No,
it
they
definitely,
seem to be revving up.
yeah, they definitely, it's gonna get good. It's good. It's gonna stay good. Next week is going to be awesome. Hopefully, we do have two season finales next week, and I can safely say I am much more excited for the boys than I am the acolyte.
Well, one has been improving and increasing in just like amazing episodes, and the other one is weirdly paced, and but they both have odd, catchy songs. So I guess that's a little parallel.
By the way, speaking, somebody redid the Empire Strikes Back scene,
Oh yeah.
and Vader, instead of saying "Luke, I am your father," he says "the power of one, the
Oh,
Oh yeah,
power
I
of
saw that.
two, the power of many." It was
oh no.
whoever did it did a great job. It was really good.
Oh,
It helps, that Vader's mouth doesn't move, so you can put anything there that you want. And they did a great James Earl Jones, like Darth Vader singing it.
oh, they did. Wow.
Yeah, it
Okay,
wasn't
maybe
just the
I'll look that
song
up
from the
after.
show.
Nice.
But we're not here to talk about the Acolyte. We're here to talk about The Boys, Season 4, Episode 7, The Insider. And let me tell you, it was a wonderful episode.
I don't want to spoil anything, but who do you think the insider is? Hmm,
I don't know. That's a
maybe.
tough one.
maybe not everybody has seen it yet, and if that's the truth, go watch it and we'll talk. A Train is becoming, you know, a, just an overall good guy, not even like a Loki guy. The way he was talking to Eminem in that scene, like you get Mother Eminem, MM, trying to keep him in the game, and it was effective. He did keep him in the game, you know.
And
Mm-hmm.
remember, we talked
He's
about
like,
it when he saw that little kid smile. We
Yeah.
said this might
yep.
be a defining moment for A Train.
And he even mentioned that too.
Yeah.
He even, yeah. And you can tell that it really affected him in a way that's like it's bringing out the original hero in him, the thing that made him want to actually be a superhero to begin with. Something that, we haven't really seen out of many of these characters except for, Annie in season one, when she truly thought that it was a miracle that she was born with these powers, and that, she was going to join the Seven and they were all superheroes and they were actually saving people. And yeah, so it is nice to
What
see
about
that.
Queen Maeve?
Yeah, yeah, Queen Maeve too. She had that moment, and that when Starlight, said to her, my favorite thing that you did, the thing that kind of like defined and made me want to be like you, was when you saved that bus full of people. And Queen Maeve goes, yeah, I that and from what we can tell, at least, that seems like a real event that did take place. So it is good that even Queen Maeve had heroic moments, and especially the
Mhm.
last time that she was on, when she decided to risk her own life to take out Soldier Boy. Now, in an opposite twist of events, we've got the Deep. That's like, oh boy, going in the opposite direction. Holy
Yeah.
crap! And way to comedically draw out a horrific scene.
Oh my God, with her
Ah,
gasping for life. It was
right,
like a
right.
Deadpool ending.
I know. I was thinking that too. It felt like it was like so cartoonish, but oh, so perfect.
I thought it was more Family Guy when he was holding his knee. Ah.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
that's
kept going.
okay.
I'm
I can see
like,
that too.
I could watch that for an hour, and I would have been like, okay, this is a
You know
great
what?
episode.
I thought the last time he was actually going to get up. I really did. I really thought he was going
I
to get
thought
up.
he was too, but boy, wow! Uh, and then when he finds out that Sister Sage was just using him, it's like, oh, you dumb, dumb idiot.
I like when he's talking to Black Noir too, and he's like, "Oh, you lobotomize her first?" And he's like, "What?"
What? No.
Poor
That's
Deep.
that's really saying something, that she had to sleep with him.
Yeah,
She
with
couldn't,
the.
couldn't bring herself to any other way.
You know what? You're right. That's the first time I've seen Deep use his strength in a fight
Hmm.
in like 3 seasons.
Are you talking about
Even up to the
when they
comic
were
book
fighting
ones.
at the boys' place?
Was that?
You talking about when they were fighting at the boys' place?
Yes. Yeah, and he hit Annie into that
Yeah,
pillar,
yeah.
and it was like, all right, wow, he's back. I haven't seen him use his strength at all and since season one. You know,
Hmm.
and he's still strong. And then that narcoleptic, did that pass on between Black Noirs, because they were both, the original Black Noir also was narcoleptic. So was that like a symptom of being Black Noir?
Did anyone else want Butcher to say, "He flies now," and someone else to yell, "He flies now," when he started?
That would have been funny. Star Wars reference. That would have been hilarious.
Wait, that was a Star Wars
Not
reference?
to n
Oh, I don't know what movie that was in. Fan fiction or something.
not to jump to the end. I'm only gonna briefly kind of sort of do it. But the whole twist at the end, with that revelation that um, Annie was the inside job, I I suspected something was up during that fight scene that you were just talking about, Dave, because, and again, this goes to show what we were talking about in our last breakdown of episode 5 and 6, when we were talking about, one of the things that they were doing with Mother's Milk was showing that, he's constantly like he's having these breakdown moments, and they're not just bring it out of nowhere. It's been these moments in every one of the episodes that it was getting worse and worse and worse. And this is something they were also showing with Starlight. She has been having issues with her powers, her abilities. Every single time she tries to use them, it's like she can't seem to activate them. And during the party that they were at, the party they were at, she was attempting to fight Firecracker, and ah, shit, she couldn't get her hands working, to generate
Yeah.
power. But
Wait,
then during
do you think she has been the shapeshifter has been Annie for multiple? I thought the lady who came and took her picture at the end of this episode and touched her shapeshifted into her. I don't think she's been.
You don't think it
even-
happened earlier?
No.
No, I think it
Yeah.
happened that episode.
Okay. All right.
I
Well,
think it happened, I'm with Doug. I think it happened early. I think that's gonna be a big reveal this next episode.
so at the end of the episode when they showed that, I figured that must have happened at some other point. Like I don't remember. I'll have to go back and watch it again, which I don't care about that. But for some reason, I thought maybe the swap had happened shortly after they ran out of the building or whatever.
It's
With the
possible.
whole shapeshifter thing.
Oh, and
Like I figured it must have happened shortly after that.
Dave Valensky says octopus dying because it's out of water doesn't make any sense, especially when it's been out of water before. But it can only last so long, and I think they just sort of exaggerated it for.
Yeah, and he did say like before when he had put her back in the water, you can't be out this long. So they were setting that up.
Yeah, but she wasn't out for that long in the time that took her to die, compared to
Eh.
me lying with her in bed.
I mean, do you really want that to have stretched on for even longer just to make it
No,
more accurate?
no.
Okay. I think
It
I
was
can.
comedic effect.
I'm willing to give the show a pass for that. So we don't have a half an hour of waiting for an octopus to die, just so that way we can say, well, at least it was accurate.
I remember I had a conversation with my friend. This was for Battlestar Galactica, and he's like, "Man, we only saw 3 ships take off, but then there's 20 out in space." And it's like, do you really want to see all 20 ships taking off?
Mhm.
There's better use
I want
of
to
the
see them
show
all rise out of the water in Exegol, though. That's what I want. Well, so wrong show again. I'm sorry.
Where did that happen at?
Some fan fiction or something.
Oh, okay, all right.
Just remember, if you see something, say something.
But
I don't
no,
want to
during
that. I would
during
rather
that
be
fight,
Agatha all along.
during that fight, that Dave was talking about before, I noticed that Annie was suddenly, she had super strength, and she was like, tossing people around, and she seemed stronger than she had been. So to me, that seemed like when they showed that, when before she could not activate her powers, I was like, what the heck's going on? How is she suddenly able to turn them on just like that?
Well, she's always had super strength. She just couldn't use
Right,
her light
but I
powers
thought
and
that
stuff.
all of her powers
Right, I
were
understand
kind
that.
of not functioning. Yeah.
No, I just think it's her light powers that weren't functioning. I do think,
Oh.
man, maybe she did. The only reason I don't think she got swapped out a while ago is because
Mhm.
getting the suit back out and saying, "Oh, you were right, Huey," and he's like, "Oh, so you're Sam a genius or whatever." I think that was just kind of right then. Like, they didn't get. She went in to get those papers back.
Mm.
She knew they
Would that
got
blow
them.
your mind? If Doug is right, would that blow your mind?
It would. It would
That would be
because
some incredible writing.
they did such a good job the last 2 weeks of the 2 twists. Like, I didn't think for a minute when that someone took her picture that it was going to be, if that's how the swap happened, someone swapping out for her. And then when she came in and she was like, "Oh, you switched out or whatever," and I was like, we're getting that nice little, good moment before all heck breaks loose next week and stuff. And I thought it was like that moment of, happiness and fun before, the bad stuff happens last week. Little did we know that it was, or little did I know that it was, a shapeshifter. And when we had, Butcher kind of pass out at the end in that bar, and then finding out Annie is actually, locked up and not able to get out, I was like, man, you guys did it again. I was so into the episode that I didn't see it coming, and I love when shows can do that to me.
I do. I love and I appreciate the twist because that is really, talk about actually looking forward to a season finale one out of two shows, where I am honestly asking, oh my God, what's next? What is going to happen? This is a crazy thing to happen the episode before the season finale. That like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, whereas the Acolyte, they gave us a flashback episode, and I'm like, oh, next week's the season finale? Okay.
Should be exciting. But Ronick wants to know, what do you think Butcher's power is?
Oh, with Jeffrey Dean, what Morgan? What is his power? Oh,
I think what
you
I
know.
think he's asking more what killed Ezekiel, what exactly. It
That's
seems
what
like
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is.
well,
He is the guy who killed Ezekiel.
well, he's sort
That's
of
what he
the
said.
yeah, but he's sort of the Butcher's sort of. It's almost like a symbiote. I don't think Jeffrey Dean Morgan is just who he sees as it because he knows him from in life or whatever. It's not actually Jeffrey Dean
Right.
Morgan. I think it's almost a Venom type thing.
Yeah,
Where
you said that in our previous breakdowns that you think that it's some kind of Venom thing where it's like it needs him to live and he needs it to live is what it appears to be like in that sense.
like you see the
And so
wormies.
right. So it itself, the worm has this weird power that made Ezekiel explode. And it seems like it can choose when to use it too. Like it really is, its
And that's
own.
what I'm saying. He's got multiple personalities in his head.
Hmm.
Each one, one is his ex-wife and one's his ex-partner. They each have different powers. Each have different temperaments to do. Like he was knocked out, so the other one took over, like in Moon Knight, and he
Hmm.
blacked out, and that's the personality that does that. If it was his ex or Becca, um, she would have done something different. Is what I'm trying to say. Maybe it's like that. If she would have come out, she would have done something completely different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So each person that he's seeing in his head brings out a different power.
I
Oh,
suppose that's
huh.
possible. I just figured
Okay.
they were both because of his brain tumor. He's just, seeing these figments
Oh
of
yeah,
his
that's
imagination kind of telling him what to
definitely
do.
part of it. Yes.
Definitely a little. But I don't think those are the powers thing. I think it's something living inside of him. Like Jeffrey Dean Morgan saying, oh, the silent treatment goes both ways. I think he was just saying that he had no actual control over it because that's just his remembering of his friend and how he would act per se. But whatever it is
Mhm.
that's doing it, the worm or the
Hmm.
whatever's inside of him, I think it's just
Dennis Rodman?
Dennis
Dennis
Rodman.
Rodman's in there?
Yes. I mean, it's self-preservation. He killed Ezekiel because if he would have killed Butcher, it would have died too. So I think it does certain things for self-preservation, not necessarily for
Hmm.
what Butcher wants or anything else. But it would be kind of cool if you were right, Dave, and like he has these multiple personalities who have different
You can
powers.
draw on different powers.
Yeah.
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 Well, since Becca does seem to be,
You guys can reel me in on that one if you want.
since Becca does seem to be like the good angel on his shoulder, whereas Jeff D. Morgan's character is like the bad guy telling him to, yeah, go ahead, go punch that person, go steal that car,
Kill
Chop
all
that
the
guy's leg
Sims.
off.
go
Kill all the
ahead,
Sims.
do a little just a tiny little genocide. I wonder since his power appears to be head exploding. I wonder what the Becca power then would be. Would it be more of a helpful power, like a healing
A
power?
healing power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna
Yeah.
go down that route, that'd be an
Nice
interesting
to jump
idea.
on my idea. I love it. I love it. Pile on, everybody. Pile on. So, you got anybody in the chat? Let's pile on with that.
Wow, Dave, come on, that's for after the show. Wink, not your status quo after dark.
Did you guys
I'm breaking
enjoy
up.
the parallel between the doctor getting his leg cut off and then Kamiko having to get
Having
her
to
leg
cut
cut
off,
off?
yeah. It seemed a little on the nose, but yeah, okay.
I guess Dave didn't like it
Um,
very much. Dave, we know you
so
like Kamiko.
did they save Kamiko's leg
No, I
specifically so
disconnected again.
did they save Kamiko's leg specifically so they could try and recreate the poison from it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because didn't
That's what I
Butcher say at
thought.
the
I wasn't
And
end?
you know
sure.
what? I was going to ask about that earlier. Do you guys think her leg will grow up because he cut it before the virus got to it, or
I do.
the thing got? Yeah,
We'll
I
probably
think
see
so.
like a Deadpool scene where she's got like a little tiny foot that's coming out of her leg next to
I
the.
kind of like when her
Well, she
when
she
her
regrows them faster than he does. You remember when
she
her
did
arm
have
got cut off
little
earlier
didn't
in
she have like
the
little
season, and
hands at
she
one point?
grew it back like immediately.
Yeah.
I thought we were all posing like that for a minute, Dave. You froze.
I'm not posing. It's just hitting me, man.
I
It's
know
just
you're not.
terrible.
I know you're not. Just having some fun with the technical difficulties.
Damn it.
Oh, internet fun. Gotta love it.
But I think Kamiko is going to be fine.
Oh
Did
yeah.
they
No,
kill
I think he got the tourniquet on her quick enough. I think she'll be all right.
and did the doctor? I can't remember. I was just watching it, but did they kill him or did he get away?
No, he got
Oh, he
away.
got away.
So
I don't know how
Homelander.
he got away so fast on one foot, on one leg, but he did.
I liked how they were like, should we let him go when he's done? Yeah. Butcher would be so mad. Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, then it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Right. Now, do you think it is a mistake that Mother's Milk is handing the reins back over to Butcher and kind of putting him back in charge?
No, he was right. I think Mother's Milk was right. He can't fail like that in the middle of a mission. He's right. He's better at the research.
And hearing his speech about how this killed his grandfather and his father and everything else,
Mm-hmm.
really puts into perspective what he is. It's almost like what did I sacrifice? Everything. Almost that.
Yeah.
He is basically willing to put his life on the line, and he'll probably end up dying before the end of all of this to, make the world a better place, once he's gone. And I thought that was really well done. It's funny that, I, for one, did not think A-Train was ever going to really turn the way he did. I thought he would help the boys, but it would only be when it benefits
Same.
him a lot. And
I really thought he
him,
was just going to be about himself and be selfish, you know?
and seeing him be the one that kind of convinces to come back, and we need you at this point because you think it's going to be safe down in Belize after this. I liked it. I liked the actor who plays A-Train, and it's good seeing
Homelander is in Belize. And Homelander will be wherever you go next.
Yep. So that was very nice. And now that Sister Sage has been fired from the Seven,
Well, she jumped to the other side.
or
Okay. That was like one of the few things that unless it's all set up for something else, it's one thing that I didn't like. I felt like it was going against the character that we were introduced to, this person who is thinking 12 steps ahead of everybody and has this entire thing planned out. So unless she knew that she was going to get fired and that, she still has everything, like we know that she had set everything up with the shapeshifter. We know that she's setting it up with the whole presidential assassination and all of that stuff. I don't know what other things she has set in motion, but it seemed a little weird that the way she was acting, like she was almost A, afraid of Homelander, and B, didn't see it coming that she was going to get kicked out of the Seven.
I think she was acting scared because that's what he expected of her. I think this is all
Okay.
part of her plan. I think
I
whatever is
hope so.
coming up, I don't think Homelander is involved. And if it comes down to it, she'll be, when it all gets put out, she goes, this is how it had to happen. I'm sorry.
Because it seems so insanely out of character.
Well, not for Homelander,
You know
because he
what?
always flies off
No,
the
for
handle.
her.
No, you're
For
right.
her.
She's like a Palpatine. She could plan way ahead. We don't know what she's planning.
Right, and I do
Right,
again.
good
I
guy.
do hope that that is the case. So, I will hold my judgment until the season finale, until we see, how everything ends up falling into place. But right now, yeah, it just seems so out of character for her to have not seen it coming.
And Dave Valensky asks, do you think they're going to use the information from Sister Sage's diary, or do you think it would be too arrogant to use it?
Yeah, no,
I
I don't
think
see
it would,
Homelander doing that. His ego's too massive to do something like that.
or he would just claim it was his knowledge.
Yeah, possibly.
That's a very
Or the Deep would get a hold of the diary and use it himself.
I really wished that when she said everything I gave A Train was what I wanted Butcher and them to know. I
Hmm.
wish she would have given some examples. Like I gave him this because this is going to happen, but we may find that out next week. Because if she really
Uh-huh.
is someone who is the smartest person on the planet,
Right. Yeah.
this would have all made sense. And she, saying, "Oh, everything I gave him," I'm thinking about it. I'm like, she was purposely being seen handing the shapeshifter, the stuff by A Train, and I'm like, someone that smart would have used somebody else to deliver that stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I do think there is some truth in her saying A Train only knew what I wanted him to know and give to Butcher and them. I just want to see more about what it is. I hope we hear more about her plan, and I hope her whole
Possible
season.
secret twist.
Yeah, I hope her whole season wasn't just another person for the Seven to kind of for Homelander to get
Hmm.
upset with and kick out. So
Yeah, I
Not the
hope not either.
smartest person either. She's not. Rick is.
that's right. That's right. Well, we know that. Oh my God, not Valerie. What is the head popper's name?
Ashley. Oh,
Vicky.
Vicky.
Yeah, Vicky still has Giancarlo Stan Edgar
Hmm.
out there too. So he's probably thinking through things. So there's a lot of pieces in place that I think we could find out what's going on in the finale next week. That'll be what Dave always likes from his favorite show.
Somebody's gonna get saved.
No, that they're going to have a cliffhanger at the end of this season. Whatever's going on is going to lead into that final season whenever we get it. It's not going to be as cut and dry as the season finale usually is with the
Has been.
boys.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping for that, really. I'm kind of hoping for more of a Game of Thrones style ending where you're on the edge of your seat, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that just happened. What are you telling me? I gotta wait a year to see what happens next."
For Game of Thrones, they used to do it like in the ninth episode, and the 10th episode would set up the next season.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
It was almost like a entire episode post credit scene.
yeah.
I did start real quick tangent. I started rewatching Game of Thrones just because like the first couple of seasons, like I said, they were really darn good. They were good. I will give credit to where credit is due. The showrunners, when they had the source material to work off of, they were able to do some good by figuring out different ways to tell the story that would fit in a television format. So, you know, they were good at the when they had source material to work off of, and they didn't have the carrot of a Star Wars movie hanging over them to tempt them away to rush the ending. Um, and I just got to the episode in season one where uh you know the king ends up dying from after the bore injury.
Mhm.
And I was sitting there watching, and they said, "You got to hurry up. King Joffrey is demanding, your presence in the throne room." And I'm just like, "Oh my God, I forgot how like horrifying this entire scene was." Just like, and it's like at that moment you realize, "Oh, I hate so many of these people."
While we're
I like Ned, but everybody else no.
while we're tangenting, how far have you
Hmm.
gotten on House of the Dragon there, Mr. Dave? Did he freeze again?
And stop moving.
Yep, fan is frozen. Well, we got let's see, Dave Valensky. How long do you think the boys will realize that the doppelganger and not Starlight? Do you think it goes into next season? Excellent
I
question.
think it will.
I'm with Doug. I think it'll go into next season. I think we're going to see something sort of. I don't want to
But
say
will you
bad
say
per
something?
se. If I see something, I will say something. I promise. It's too ingrained in my head. It's song, but I do think something is going to happen with that at the end of the season. That is going to be bad, but they're not going to find out. Like she's going to turn on them or hurt them in some way, but we won't find out. I'm sorry, Butcher and the boys won't find out until at least next season, and they'll free her next season at some point.
I could see that. Yeah, I really do think that they're gonna kind of drag it out a bit to have this, person cause as much damage as possible. Now, I also wonder, how much of this plan Homelander was aware of, and what is Sister Sage planning on doing with, the real Starlight captured? Like, does Homelander know
You think
that this has happened? Does he know that she's there?
I don't think he
Or did Sister
does,
Sage not fill him in?
because she would have told him
if
at that
Homelander
point.
knew, yeah, if Homelander knew she was there, he would have been there to see her already, to
Mm,
do something.
And that's why I do think there's more to Sister Sage's plan than she has, let Homelander know.
all right.
And obviously, we don't know what that is yet, but because obviously she knows where Starlight is. And maybe that's part of why being fired from the Seven, it was what she wanted, because now she can go work wherever that warehouse is with the captured Starlight, work with the actual shapeshifter in any way for whatever they want to do. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if this president's, them trying to assassinate Singer in the season finale actually happens, or if she's going to stop the plan to start her own plan, and that's really going to send, Homelander right off the edge. Because as far as he
Does
knows,
he even know? Is there a way to kill Newman?
I mean, I suppose a virus would do it.
do you think the virus has to be as strong as it has to be for Homelander to kill Newman too?
I don't think so.
Okay, I didn't either. Like she's
'Cause
sort of
I can't think
invulnerable,
of. They haven't, yeah, shown anything that would kill her yet. I mean,
Well,
they
I
even
guess they would
shot her
have to have
down
like
point blank.
a stronger needle to break her skin.
Did they mention that as part of her powers, or did we just gain that by watching it?
we
I
just
think
gained
we
it by
gained that by
watching.
watching, yeah. I don't
Kind of
believe
like a Luke Cage type of thing.
it does make me wonder the character that has the same powers as her from Gen V does she also have invulnerable skin, or maybe she'll develop it later on?
That's a good question. I don't think she had it during Gen V, but right,
Hmm.
maybe as you get older and you develop, gain a little more and more power from the compound V.
Right.
So the only way to get rid of her is through like a translucent type of thing,
Yeah, I guess.
or ingest something.
Yeah,
Now, in Gen V, the virus was released as like a gas. I wonder if that'll be like what Huey try or not Huey. I wonder if that's what French will try to work on next is instead of making it an injectable to make it like released from a gas grenade or something.
it may have to be because you're right. Like Homelander's skin's probably not going to be broken. They had that in Marvel Comics a
Hmm.
lot with the Hulk or even Superman. You can't break his skin with a normal needle. They have to use like a kryptonite needle or something along those
Hmm.
lines. So yeah, gas may be the only way to get it in, Homelander skin. It may be the same for Newman.
But then, same for Kamiko and Annie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Are they going to be willing to sacrifice their friends to
For the
save the
cause.
day, or are we going to get a happy ending? The more I watch it, the more I think they're
Mm.
going to not have a very happy ending. Like they will
No, I don't
stop
think so.
Homelander, but there's going to be a lot of good people that we like
Carnage.
die. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure by the end of it, I don't think maybe this season, but definitely by the end of it next season, like A Train, he'll be gone. He'll die. He's already gone, but he will die. Homelander's going to take out a lot of people.
Hmm. Yeah, I could. I don't want to like, all of a sudden jump to an ultimate what's next for the next season. I figure we could probably end up doing like a separate video for that. But just a few things. I do think, obviously Homelander's going to eventually bite it. Butcher will definitely bite it. Even Sister Sage called it and said, even said, he doesn't have much time left. You may as well wait.
Yeah.
Um, I don't even think Huey's going to make it.
No,
No,
he's the innocent one. Well, I
I
guess he
know.
has had sex. So he's not the innocent one anymore.
Yeah. No,
And he
I don't
cheated
think
on
he's
the
gonna
real
make it.
Starlight.
He didn't know.
He
But
didn't know.
I do
He
wonder if they
cheated.
are going to break up over that. Like, do you think she's going to,
Like, how
once
did
it's all revealed, do you think she's like, how could you not tell?
No,
No, she'll
because
be fine.
a shapeshifter soup would be almost impossible to tell.
Hmm.
I mean, she fooled me, and so can you blame
Unless
Huey?
Huey's already dead,
So
like you lying in bed there.
I
Just a
like
smile
how
on his face.
I like how shows like that will do little things to like let the audience in on what's happening. Like they had the shapeshifter flick the eyes like a little chameleon kind of thing. And it's like, oh yeah, that's for us. Because there's no reason in the context of the show for her to have done that or it to have done that, whatever it is.
Peeling off its skin made it very um,
Such a
obvious to Huey and them what was
yeah.
going on. If they could shapeshift without peeling the skin off,
Hmm.
would have never had any idea.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's the every soup in this show sort of outside of Homelander sort of has that sort of weakness type thing, and it's nice to have a shapeshifter that can't just touch somebody and then all of a sudden look like them around the corner. Kind of like we saw in the Captain Marvel movie where the scroll walks by and all of a sudden it was it on the train, where no one would have known. Where did that? Because at first it was ripping its skin off, and I'm like, is that what it's got to do? Oh my god! And I was just like,
Yeah.
way to once again gross me out.
Right?
I try to watch on Thursdays, watch a show during my lunch at work. And there are times I regret that decision, and this one was one of them because I'm like, hey,
Oh.
Yeah. As soon as Huey took that little slip, you're like, what? Oh, gross. Not as gross as the first episode with the sauna, but
That was another gross way that powers work with his body like ripping apart and you can like, the flesh and everything in order to duplicate like that. Like
oh, and
such a
remember,
they really do.
Starlight was chasing the doppelganger early in this episode.
Hmm.
So unless that was,
See, that's when because that happened towards the beginning of the episode that they went to that apartment and found it, in the closet, and then they were running after it. I think the swap took place at some point right after that.
okay, and not by the lady in the bar who came up and, oh, Starlight, let me get a pic.
Now, so did we see that happen earlier than them showing us that scene at the end? Like, was there another?
It was going on at the same time, I think, or was it after?
Well, see, that's why I'm wondering. That's why I wanted to go back and like rewatch the episode. I'm wondering um, if there was a scene with Starlight in a bar and they just didn't show us the full scene, like they showed her in the bar and then move on.
Okay, we have
So
the
I'm like,
chat helping us with our
oh,
what's next for what's episode.
okay.
I think Huey will eventually recognize that Starlight is a doppelganger because the doppelganger's eyes don't glow when they climax.
that's what I was laughing at.
Okay.
That is an excellent point,
Good
Dave.
stuff.
As
Yeah.
long as Huey can make her climax. I guess that's the gist of it. He's going to have to, do a good job to figure it all. If that's how he finds out, that's going to be great.
Do you think that's what's going to give it away? Our sex is never that incredible.
You guys, I think Starlight, the shapeshifter, because when we do it, her eyes aren't glowing. I'm gonna check a few more times, and if they don't glow,
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know.
I'll see you guys in a couple days. All
Hey,
right.
Annie, can you put the suit back on again? That would
No, I think it might have happened earlier. It could have been anybody that she touched all season. It could have been. Wouldn't that be cool if we found out she's been there like Rhodey in Special Investigation? She's been there the whole time.
if they do a good job of showing us that the shapeshifter has been one of the boys in every episode this season, keeping an eye on him, that would be, if they can pull that off.
See,
That
that
would be
I don't
incredible.
think. I think it
Well-
happened in this episode, but
How do you think Deep knew exactly where to go. Deep and Noir, they were there. They knew where Billy and the boys were. Was that public knowledge, or did they just? How did they stumble upon where their hideout was?
I'm assuming Sister Sage told him.
How did she know?
Oh, I mean, she seemed to know everything about everyone.
Well, she had to gain that knowledge somehow.
Right, but
Maybe
she
it was the
had
shape.
backgrounds on everybody already. She probably knew where their office was
Mm-hmm.
when she first started investigating and doing all that stuff.
So you
She,
guys don't know, is what you're saying.
no, we don't
No,
know.
I
You
don't
We're
know.
don't.
making assumptions.
No. Yeah. Now, I was thrown off by what I think there was a bit of a misdirect in this episode. I thought for sure that Sister Sage wanted them to go into that apartment where the shapeshifter was as a setup because
Okay.
it seemed really convenient that all of the assassination plans were like just so happened to be there in a drawer and like it was like really, really convenient, really on the nose. I thought Sister Sage was setting them up to like get arrested or something. And then when it turned out that they weren't, I'm like, well, that was kind of like a weird thing to show us. Like, it felt like a Chekhov's gun situation. Like they showed us this object in the apartment, and it hasn't served a purpose yet, and I don't know why. Like, why bring that to light? Why make it clear that these, that because if you were really plotting, an undercover assassination thing, you wouldn't leave the plans in such an easy to find location. It was strange to me.
Well, and I do think we might see more of that because the fact she was also handing the plans to that shapeshifter in broad daylight so A Train could see
Yeah,
it
that's what I was
too.
gonna say.
It
Yeah,
all
yeah.
seems a little too easy for them to figure out. I agree.
So
She
then there's
wanted,
this theory. There's the theory that Sage, from the moment that Homelander showed up at her door, was like, "I'm gonna help this guy, but he's gonna think I am, and I'm gonna help the other guys." And then
Hmm.
they won't know it because she's so smart. Nobody's gonna know whose side she's really on, and she's really trying to get rid of Homelander as well. That would be a twist.
that'd be nice. She kind of joins the boys, and at the end of the season, she's like, listen, I've been helping you all along. Here's how I've done
Yeah,
it. And
yeah,
Hmm.
because she would have all that, I made sure A Train saw me. I knew he was I knew he was, working with you. Here's all I've done. Here's what we got to do to kill Homelander.
yeah.
And
That'd be
maybe
awesome.
that would be awesome.
And then you spend all season 5 putting her plan together and killing Homelander at the end.
That would be
Or you
fantastic.
know what I think? Maybe for the series ender, I think how he's going to blow through all the other soups and just kill everybody and kill Butcher. Ryan's going to be the last one left because he can't kill Ryan. There's nothing he can do. He won't
Hmm.
emotionally be able to handle it. I don't think he can do it physically either because he's a second generation. So Ryan takes over and ends Homelander.
See, that almost would work really well because I like the fact that Homelander, how he treats him, is pushing him away. Homelander's like,
Yeah,
I love you, Ryan, and stuff, but he doesn't show it like Butcher does. Butcher sending that picture of,
yeah,
Becca, him, and Ryan together meant so
Hmm.
much more than like him. Hey, listen, buddy, you just got to suck it up. I know you don't like it or whatever, but you just got to do it. Okay, great or whatever. And you can see, Homelander being Homelander, and it's not some new, personality that's all of a sudden coming out in season 4. It's how Homelander's
Right.
always
That's
been,
how it's always been.
and it's going to
And
be.
Butcher gives the boy choice.
And he knows he may not think Butcher is the best person of all time, but he
Hmm.
knows he loves his mom. And
Yep.
he knows his mom loved him for whatever reason. And I don't know if he's old enough to understand that the Butcher that's there now isn't the same Butcher. He's went through so much and he's changed so much, but he knows his
Hmm.
mom loved him. And that's going to be enough for him at this point to, when it comes down to the end, side with Butcher. And that's what's going to
Hmm.
probably send Homelander completely over the edge. And I don't think
yeah.
it'll happen
Something
this
like
season, but
like Homelander kills Butcher in front of Ryan, and Ryan's like, "No, sir," and takes out Homelander. Something like that.
and it may be he just does something to get the virus into Homelander to kill him. I don't know if Ryan will actually do the killing, but if he did, that might the boys Ryan's escapades, later on when he starts teetering towards, darkness, because the whole Butcher's plan and everything will be unsuccessful, just like Becca, the Becca ghost, or his thought of Becca said, you can't stop Homelander just to create another Homelander.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
making sure that Ryan is, on the side, is more of a Steve Rogers by the end of it, is the real goal. And if he's not, they failed. Because then you will have another, Homelander. But it's so hard for me to comprehend anyone with that much power at that age being overly good. It really.
Oh, it's like Brightburn.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the whole Superman thing with Ma and Pa Kent being what, creates and shows. It's almost too hard to believe that any teenager with that kind of power would do what's right. Later on they would. They'd probably figure it out. But
Right.
definitely, it'll be interesting to see how they take Ryan. He was raised right, and that's been the main sort of crux of this series. Homelander was raised in a lab, where Ryan was raised by his mother. And there's a huge
Right.
difference there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Homelander, his entire life was for Vought. Everything that he's done has all been about popularity and the numbers and being a fake superhero and having a fake backstory and everything like that. So all of the stuff that he's expecting Ryan to do is normal day to day for him. And I think it's kind of blowing his mind. Like, I don't understand why you're not just sucking it up and doing the show. I've done so many of these.
He really doesn't understand why, you're going to be revered as a hero. People are going to love you. And Ryan sees
Right,
through
yeah.
the whole, fakeness of it all.
But that's yeah. But it's not real Homelander. It's not like, it's all fake love. They think I'm doing something that I'm not actually. I'll know that it's,
Right.
false.
And A-Train has actually seen
Yep.
the realness of it, and he sees the difference of it, and Homelander's never going to understand that.
And when he tells Mother's Milk, when A-Train tells Mother's Milk, that's that one thing that I did right there. That's the thing that meant more to me than any other thing I've done in my entire life. He says, and that was for you.
That was such a well done scene. I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
They
It was
really
an
get
incredible scene.
all the actors in this. They don't get enough credit. I mean, Anthony Starr is, just incredible as Homelander, but everybody does a good job on this. There's no one when I see him appear in a scene, I go, "Ah." Even Ryan, which it's twins that play Ryan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw it the other day. There was
Wow,
some
all right.
fake scene that Anthony Starr hates kids, and so it was they were joking around about it, but they both do a good job too. Like,
So it's
We-
a Mary Kate and Ashley situation.
yes, we won't mention other shows where we saw young kids,
Where we see other twins.
but there's a lot of times when kids are in a show,
Uh-huh.
it's sad to watch them when they're with a really good actor in a scene, when you can tell that they're just not on par with them. And
But the actors that play Ryan, then they're doing a phenomenal job.
they do. There hasn't been once where he's been on screen where I was like,
They should really get him an acting coach. No.
yeah, you almost
Doing
had it
good.
that time. He's been seamless, just like everyone else in this. And I don't, probably has a lot to do with the directors and the writing and everything else. But everyone in this show just does a great job. Great casting, great writing, great direction, great acting. That's really what makes this show so good. Even all of the guest stars. Soldier Boy, last season, what's his name who played him, was perfect. He did a great job as him. There's no complaints there. So we were just talking.
Jensen Ackles.
Yeah, Jensen Ackles. Thank you. Trying to think if there was anything else that we needed to talk about this. We did talk about them having Kamiko's legs, so they're definitely probably
Yeah.
going to get the virus. I really don't think the virus is going to be the thing that ends
Oh, no.
Homelander.
No, I think that'd be too easy. I think it might take out like the Deep. I could see that's his way of getting killed off. It might end up It could even be like if Sister Sage, it turns out, is not going to help the boys, because I truly don't think she is. I don't think she's a good person. I think whether she is truly trying to, help Homelander or whatever, I think at the end of the day, the thing that she cares most about is experimenting. It's like she's got all these ideas in her head of what she wants to test out on actual humans, and I think that that's what she wants to do. I don't think that she's actually trying to help anybody.
See,
As she may.
I've often thought this season that
Hmm.
her goal is to get Homelander out of the way, not necessarily to help the boys, but because
Hmm.
having him out of the way, she would have more 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 control to do what she really wanted to do. Like she really
Hmm.
does have to sort of appease him at times because he could destroy her if he really wanted to, and she
Hmm.
did. I think you're right. She set him up to kind of be able to give him more crap by saying you would never allow me to do it, knowing
Yeah.
that he's going to have to okay. But I don't think her plans align with the boys necessarily, except maybe
No.
getting Homelander out of the way.
Possibly. Yeah. Well, would they trust her?
She might be able to get them to trust her,
Oh, like
but
manipulate them or something?
yeah, but I don't think Butcher would ever trust her. I don't think Butcher trusts anybody really,
No,
except
now
maybe
that he's back
Huey.
in charge.
Yeah, except maybe Huey. Like he knows Huey's
Hmm.
just kind of a good person, so he knows he can kind of
Yeah.
trust him, but he doesn't trust anybody else, and he would never trust definitely someone like Sister Sage, who he knows is smarter than him, and he would never allow
Hmm.
himself to trust anything she actually says.
Yep.
I just hope we don't see A Train die this season. I hope he's back for next season, just so he can call Huey and Annie shitbirds again. I mean, if we don't get
I
another
hope
shitbird
so
scene,
too. I
Well, what
do
did
want to
Pete
at
call
least.
them
Hmm?
when they came in? He called them like cumbags or something.
I
what
don't
did he
remember.
call him? Oh my god!
He was sitting at the desk and they walked in and he was like, "Hey, what's up, cumbag?" Something like that. Just like A Train. I like how I like how A Train at the end clarified that he never liked Pete. I've
Good,
never liked.
good.
And that was nice when
Sorry.
MM and
Hmm.
and A Train showed up to help him out. We haven't gotten enough, and understandably, they don't probably or didn't have the budget to do a lot of special effects like that. So when we do see, fights like that, it was well done and it was enjoyable. And, A
Hmm.
Train using his super speed is still 100 times better than anything we saw in Zack Snyder's Justice League with the Flash or the Flash movie too. So whenever we get to see it, it's enjoyable.
And that's the
So,
thing. They don't have to rely on that. Like, their story is so good. They don't have to rely. They don't have to have as many battles. When they do have a
hmm,
battle, it's epic. You
it's
know what I
it's
mean?
the characters.
Yes. That's what makes the good story. That's what certain other franchises are missing. Tell a good story with good character development, and the action will work itself out.
Yep,
It
yep.
always does. Well,
Or really gruesome, um, over the top adult scene.
Yeah, that's.
should
I don't want to ever
should we
see anything
rate
like
this
that.
episode?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
think we should.
Because
Keith, you want to go first?
I certainly will. As we talked about this whole thing, I really enjoyed this episode. There was no part that I was like, uh, that didn't work. Now, some things have to fall in place next week or later for some things to work, especially with Sister Sage's story. The way things
Hmm.
kind of went with Homelander and the way, I think if they don't explain that she always had a plan and it went exactly how she wanted to, through this, her getting kicked out and everything isn't what she wanted. It may bring it
Hmm.
down a little bit, but man, I enjoyed everything about this episode. The fight, you know, seeing Black Noir flying and them like, what the hell is going on? A Train talking MM into coming back and, for actual, heroic reasons. And
I do like that none of the boys realize that that's a different Noir.
yeah,
It's great.
Yeah. Well, he didn't speak, so.
And they both have narcolepsy. So, we just need to see, what's going to happen next week. And once again, 2 weeks in a row, they have gotten me with twists that I did not see coming, and I always enjoy that immensely. And like we've said the whole time, all of the acting's been great, all the writing has been great this season. I can't really complain about everything, so I'm going to give this episode a 9.1347. I really think this was an episode outside of me having to put my lunch aside when the shapeshifter was shifting. I was enthralled. I was not, to put it in the not your status quo thing, I was not looking at my phone for anything.
Very good. You want to go next, Doug? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode, and now you got me thinking there, Keith. I almost wonder with Noir, because we can see that he's first and foremost an actor, and everything that he's been doing is all about trying to get in character. What if he's not actually narcoleptic? What if that's just him staying in character as Black Noir? And he figures, at this point during the fight, he would fall asleep. I kind of hope that is true, because otherwise it would seem really weird that both of them just happen to be narcoleptic.
I hope we get a scene next week now.
Anybody's an acting
where
thing.
The Deep's like, I can't believe you fell asleep during the fight. Well, that's what Black Noir would have done. That's
Black
my
Noir
motivation.
would have done. Yeah. I really feel like I've been getting better into his head. Like I understand his character and his motivations better now.
Right. I get his motivation now.
Right.
I almost got my butt kicked because of that. You're fine.
You dumbass.
I can fly.
Right. But yeah, no, this was a great episode, and for trying to just throwing it out there, if there happened to be another show out there that maybe we're watching that supposedly had mysteries, intrigue, and twists, and then they really dropped the ball, the boys definitely picked it up, because not only did we have we been constantly like surprised, and there have been, pretty big twists in a lot of the episodes going forward, but now this shapeshifter thing, taking over as Annie and giving it the name, The Inside Job. Now we know really what that was all about. I gotta say, my mouth dropped open, like when I thought something was up, but my mouth dropped open when they did do the reveal at the end. I was like, no way. And then they showed Annie chained up, and I was like, no way. Oh, and by the way, I'm pretty sure you were right, Keith, and I was wrong. I think you are correct. So I did, scroll through the episode real quick, and there was a point right after that fight where her and Mother's Milk were at a bar, and the bar scene did take place right after their fight in the office. So I think that might have been actually when the whole flashback scene that they showed us at the end of the episode. I think maybe it must have happened there.
Okay.
But it is weird to me then that she suddenly had a bout of super strength. I really thought that they were setting something up, because I haven't really seen her really be able to activate her powers throughout. Like in the Tech Knight,
remember she
had to use a shot on Firecracker. She didn't like knock her out.
Well, yeah, but she did that only to knock her out, because remember, she beat the living tar out of her. She showed her super strength on TV when she knocked the snot out of Firecracker on that episode too.
All right, that is true. I forgot about that. But no, excellent episode through and through. I mean, thankfully I was not eating lunch when I was watching it, so I didn't have to put a sandwich aside or anything like that.
Hold on.
I didn't have to. I didn't have to take my my gooey, cheesy pizza and think, maybe not today.
And Dave Valensky asks, what if Black Noir's narcolepsy kicks in while he's flying and he ends up dying that way? That's if we're wrong, and this one also has narcolepsy, and he's not just method acting the original Black Noir. That would be...
I truly hope it's method acting. I really do. I think that would just be...
You know how to test it? They can just give him an almond joy.
Oh, that's true.
Now, do the boys know about his nut allergy?
I don't know. Starlight would be the only one, I would think.
Yeah, if anyone did, it would be Starlight. I don't know that she knows that.
A Train
I
might
have to go
too.
back and watch.
Hmm. Yeah, wow, we'll have to go back and rewatch the other three seasons. What a shame.
Shucks.
Darn it.
Boy. But
I'll
yeah,
do that right after I'm done with Hot D.
but yeah, this was an incredible episode. Again, I just think it keeps getting better and better. I am going to rate it an 8.5 out of 10. I think it was phenomenal. You know, like I said, I had a couple of things that were a little but otherwise it was very good. An excellent episode. The boys just keeps getting better and better. And it compared to other shows that we're watching, I mean, just I cannot wait for the on one hand, I can't wait for the season finale, but on the other hand, I don't want it to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them I'm looking forward to it kind
Yeah,
of being done. This one I'm like, I hope we don't have a long
I
wait for
I
the final
could use some
season.
more episodes, but
Yeah, and
hey,
then we're gonna have to wait a year or two for some more episodes. So,
yeah, unfortunately, yep. Well,
all right, I
Dave,
guess we're ready for me, huh? Um, I like this episode because it made me think. All these I don't usually come up with, what's next just naturally. I usually have to think
hmm
about it, see what happened, and here's what I think is what's next. This just opened to all the stuff we were talking about earlier. What if Sage, like, she wasn't on anyone's side the whole time? What if, how long has Andy been shapeshifted?
hmm
I love that episode did that kind of made me think that way. And it made me think while you were talking, Doug, you know how you say you reminded us that Starlight's powers have been kind of spotty.
yeah,
Well, do you remember when Sage was talking to Firecracker at that thing at that I thought it was like a school placement thing when at the very beginning when she first met her, and she says, "What can you do?" and she snaps her fingers, and it just sparks, and that was
yeah.
it. I don't know what other power she's supposed to have, but maybe that was the shapeshifter she was talking to because they couldn't use her powers, and she was just seeing where the shapeshifter was, like as far as her powers go, because
Can they do
she
anything more than take somebody's shape? Can they also use their powers?
right. She's talking to him.
Mm.
Then she's talking to that same one that A Train saw her with.
Hmm.
Maybe she's been talking to the shapeshifter the entire season, and we haven't known it. It makes
It's
me think
possible.
that's this episode made me think like that, and that's the best thing you could do is to be
You
wondering.
now have to reel yourself in.
Yes, I'm reeling myself in, and you have to wonder, like, what else have they, if that any of that works out, what else have they been geniusly writing in the
Yes.
background? So I just think it's been this episode, like, it was just amazing like that.
Is it
And I'm gonna,
crazy that it's making you care?
yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, compared to the other shows, well, House of the Dragon, I'm still catching up on, but yeah, I don't really care about the Acolyte, so. Yeah, it's great to have a show that you want to see. Like the first and second season of Mandalorian, you're like, oh, what's going to happen next? Loved
Hmm.
it. Or Andor. And so having this back is great. So I'm going to give the same thing you did, Doug. I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Nice.
I don't think it could have done much better, but there's always room for improvement. That's why there's
Oh yeah,
no fives allowed
exactly.
on. Yeah.
I'm with
So
you on that.
I think they might knock it out of the park next week.
I think so too.
Who knows? I mean, the way they're building it up, it's very possible.
And I'm kind of hoping that Keith is right. I hope that it isn't a nice happy ending. I kind of hope that we're getting more of a gut wrenching, because I think leading into the series finale, the final season, I think it would do it more of a service to have us on more of a somber note, more like a uh the Empire Strikes Back sort of situation where you're not
Yeah.
really sure.
Like for me for this show, finding out Maeve survived last season was kind of a
Hmm.
disappointment because it lessened
Yeah.
her, her
For sacrifice, yeah.
sacrifice and just made it okay. They're just doing that to give us this MGM happy ending. We don't need that.
And
That's not
like,
what
are they
this
going
show
to
is
bring her
about.
back, or like, what was the point of doing that?
Yeah. Once again, yeah, you're right. If she comes back next season as an integral part of
Hmm.
winning, maybe I see it, and it was part. But it seemed to me like they were just doing it because we don't want to have too sad of an ending this season. And I really
Yeah.
hope that they get that out of their system because
Yeah.
This show should not have a happy ending. It should be maybe mission accomplished, but holy cow, I can't believe the losses we suffered.
Yeah, it should be a realistic ending, not a happy ending.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, it's 9:16. Should we raid somebody or should we watch the Agatha trailer together?
Oh,
I could watch
yeah.
Agatha.
Sure.
You
Yeah,
got
we
that
could do
queued
that.
up?
Absolutely.
What'd you say?
I said absolutely.
I don't have a drink. I'll be right back.
Oh, Jacques.
We'll wait for Mr. Dave to get back.
Been doing this for how long and he doesn't have a drink?
I know. Freaking
I
rookie
drank
mistake.
it while we were talking.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Rookie mistake.
When we were talking earlier, I drank it.
Now, I drink my first one too, but I did have a second one handy. You know, just in case. You know, I come
I have
prepared.
a second one handy too.
I'm Sister Sage. You know, I come prepared, Dave.
I'm sorry, blue milk drinkers. I'm sorry.
You will be.
Oh, you're not now.
All right. Are you guys ready for this? I hope I set this up correctly so I can hear it while we do it.
And if you don't, oh well.
I can.
Another beautiful day.
Surprised to see you out here, detective.
Yeah.
Jane Doe, found her down here by the water.
Empty
Cause?
coffee
Blunt
cup.
force trauma.
What happened to you?
Now, just want to go there for a minute. Did either of you go, "Oh my God, that's Wanda Maximoff," when you saw it the first time, or did you when you?
No, I kind of figured that's what they were going for.
What, with the fingers?
That's yes, because
Yeah, the person that was laying. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I figured that that's what they were doing because it seemed like Agatha was in not so much a sitcom, but like some sort of other TV thing. Like I assumed this was part of the spell that
Yeah, Law and
Wanda
Order.
had her trapped in. And I figured maybe this was the way to reveal, oh, well, Wanda's actually dead now, and maybe this would be the thing that would help her escape from the spell or something.
and it's almost her inner thinkings, like, "Oh, this is why I'm here. You know, this is the focus of the episode. This Wanda Maximoff,
Yeah.
and I am really trapped." Because I do think, you know, let's go back to the trailer for a minute. I do think a scene we're going to see next actually takes place before this in the actual show.
Now, I did look up trying to figure out because when we saw that opening, I thought that they were doing like a play on Twin Peaks or something like that. Like I thought that that's what they were going for, but it turns out that it was actually. I ended up looking up to see if that was the case. It turns out that they were basing it off an entirely different show, and it is like a shot-for-shot remake of it.
Did not know that. Very cool. What show was it that they was the shot for that?
I don't remember, and I didn't write it down because I didn't think we were going to talk about this.
Understandable.
I have a lead in the case, but can't shake this feeling I'm seeing it wrong.
Is this really how you see yourself? That witch is gone, leaving you trapped in her distorted spell. Claw your way out.
It's our girl.
It's nice that they're not completely forgetting about WandaVision for this. You know, because if they would have just did something where, oh, she's out of the spell now, we're not going to really talk about it, and she's, you know, doing these things. It does seem like this is an actual, you know, continuation of Agatha's story post WandaVision. So I'm kind of, and once again, you know, we talked about this on Slack. For those of you not on our Slack channel, know this. We were all pretty surprised by this trailer. You know, we've heard this is going to be a musical. this is going to be all these things. And this pleasantly surprised me with what we got for this trailer.
Real quick, not to tangent away from this, but let us know in the comments, in the chat. We do bring that up quite a bit. You know, we talk about our discussions that we have on Slack. If you would all be interested in us setting up a Discord, let us know. If you actually want to like interact with us more outside of the videos, if that's something you would like to see from us, if there's an interest, we'll set one up.
100%. You know, it's funny. I talked a minute ago. I said I think the scene there where we got our first look at Aubrey Plaza's character took place after, but it's impossible because the body was there. So yeah, but I do like her showing up. Like, you're in that witch's spell. You need to get out. You need to claw your way out. And seeing, you know, the different characters from WandaVision kind of popping through to kind of work her way through it, I thought was well done. I enjoyed it.
So I looked up what show it's based on.
Oh, what is it?
That opening. It's called The Mayor of Easttown, and it was a miniseries from 2021.
Wasn't Jeremy Renner on that?
What's that?
No, that's a different show.
Lords of Dogtown? That's Jeremy Renner.
No.
Okay.
Jeremy Renner was, oh my God. There's two shows that were very similar. Jeremy Renner was in one. But this one, I think, was on HBO and was not with Jeremy Renner. The Jeremy Renner one is on Paramount Plus. Because Jeremy Renner is mayor of Kingstown, I think.
That's what it is.
I don't even know what this is on.
I think it was HBO.
Was it? Okay.
I think. Don't hold me to that,
But yeah, it turns out it's like a shot-for-shot remake of it.
Nice.
I was like, oh, all right, well. Police procedural, you know.
I miss the glory days.
Oh, and by the way, I love this. The whole, they call this Marvel television, by the way. I ended up reading up more about that because I thought, oh, okay, so they did that with their animation as well. We're getting Marvel animation for all of their animated series. Now they're finally treating the TV shows as their own thing and creating a separate studio just for that. And they're calling it Marvel Television. I think that's smart, and I think they should have probably done that earlier on, back when they first started, you know, doing WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier and all of these other series. I think they should have, you know, created a separate division just to work on those and focus on those and make them, treat them more like a TV series rather than just an extension to the movie or something.
And I think one of our biggest complaints of some of the earlier shows was this feels like a movie they're just breaking up into episodes.
Yeah.
Where hopefully they've heard the criticism and are approaching their new television series like a television series should be approached. So, fingers crossed.
But I can be that witch again.
Hexagon. No,
Let's hit the road.
You know, one of the things, the Witch's Road, which I kind of talk about this, was in a Scarlet Witch miniseries where, you know, she does have to do the Witch's Road. She didn't need to get her powers back at the time, but it gives you something that you need. So if you could complete this quest, you know, you get it back. And obviously we're getting with Agatha her powers back because, you know, the Scarlet Witch kind of took hers away. But I mean, we see elements of, we kind of get that Agatha campiness a little bit where she's like, okay, the gang's all here, let's go. You know, but then we also get that, you know, demon or creature, whatever it is. You know, it sounds like there's going to be some horror aspects to this. And that's HORROR. Horror.
Right.
Just make sure there's no confusion there. I'd be good with either
this
one.
isn't Saturday night.
Yeah. But, you know, once again, this is not what I expected from this show. I really thought we were going to get, you know what, that Agatha All Along song was sure popular. Let's keep doing that every episode. And it doesn't look like we're getting that at all. So I'm actually looking a little more forward to this than I was before.
Curious about something.
I can do this all day.
What's that, Dave?
I can do this all day.
I thought, and unless it was like an unsubstantiated rumor, I thought that this series was supposed to be a musical.
People had said that, but it was never confirmed by anybody. And
okay, it was never actually confirmed. because based on what we saw in this trailer, either they are cutting out any of the musical moments to sort of hide the fact that this entire series is a musical. And I think I made this comparison in our Slack. I think I made this comparison to the remake of I don't know if remake's the
Mean
right word,
Girls.
but of Mean Girls, where it is technically a movie remake of the stage play Mean Girls, which was, a stage play remake of the original movie. And when they released all of the trailers for that, they conveniently left out any of the musical numbers. And it made it look like it was just a movie remake. And so when people who didn't realize that it was a musical went to go see it, they're like, what the heck is this? I hope that's not what Disney is doing. Like, I hope they're not just trying to trick people.
If there is any sort of musical numbers in it, it'll probably be like a one episode type thing where maybe part of the Witch's
that
Road.
would be okay.
No, absolutely. If this whole thing is a musical and they
Absolutely.
are trying to trick us with this trailer, we are definitely going to march at dawn.
I'm gonna walk the witch's road. The road is a death wish. Join me.
You know, you almost see her at one point where like her face is tearing apart. I mean, she may be bringing these people along and turning on them by the end of it. It'll be interesting to see how they handle this character, because Agatha Harkness has been so much in Marvel Comics. You know,
Yeah.
she was like Franklin's nanny for a while. She was the Scarlet Witch's sort of magical mentor. She's been good. She's been bad. She's been a ton of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how they really, if they kind of change up her character and maybe make her a little bit good, or if she's going to get her powers back and be a thorn in the side of the Scarlet Witch or Doctor Strange or really any of the heroes possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see some of those. Go ahead.
She's definitely getting her power back.
Yeah.
I think no reason to have the show if she's not.
Yeah,
I mean?
I don't think the whole series is just going to be her on the Witch's Road. I think an early episode is going to be her, getting out of Wanda's spell, figuring out she needs to get her powers back. This is what she needs to do, and she'll have her powers back well before the end of this series.
Now, is she also going to take it a step further and not just break out of Wanda's spell, but, break out of the Disney Plus show, crawl down, and then confront robot Kevin Feige?
She will not.
No, this show, I mean, that was some pure genius you're talking about right there. I can't think of any, 13-year-old who could have thought something like that. That's incredible. That's incredible writing right there.
Way to get Dave going, Doug.
Oh, you're welcome.
Witch in her right mind would join Agatha Harkness's coven. Not looking for right-minded witches as it happens.
Now, are any of these supporting characters from Coven, do you think any of them are representations of people that appear in the comics?
Yes.
Okay.
Joe Locke, people said is going to be Wiccan, one of the Scarlet Witch's kids. Aubrey Plaza's character, Rio, was in the comics, another witch, and I'm sure some of the others will be also. But what they've said, and
no
none of
original characters.
none. Well, there might be some, but I think most of them will be, according to scoopers and stuff, because nothing has been confirmed on any of the characters yet. From what they've said, it will be people from Marvel Comics. And I like that too. I'm not looking for right-minded witches.
Yeah.
Sweetheart, you okay? Oh my God! Whoa, what's she doing? Where's she going?
And we get 2 episode premieres September 18th, which, even though it seemed like it's forever away, it's not that far away.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I was very pleasantly surprised by this trailer. I mean, they could have hidden all of the elements that we we heard were going to be in it, but it did a good job. You know, it's got my girl Aubrey Plaza. I like too. Sweetheart, are you okay?
The most famous Delawarean, Aubrey Plaza. She's from Delaware.
I know,
She's
but
the most famous.
so is President Joe Biden.
Right, but she's actually more famous.
I could believe more popular. I don't know about more famous. I think,
Well, I don't know, man. I'll look it up for you because I wouldn't just spit that crap out, man.
well,
Okay.
well,
Well then.
not to cause drama here, but I think you would.
No,
I have a question for you two. What are the chances of getting a Ralph Boner cameo?
I'm gonna say this
oh God,
100%.
That would be the thing that would make me just roll my eyes and rate it a 2 out of 10. I'd just be like, nope, don't do that to me, Marvel. Come on.
What if she gets out of the spell and Ralph Boner's there? He's like, "Hey, I helped you. What's my thing?" And she goes, "Oh, you failed," and just like murders him right on the spot. Would that still be a 2 out of 10?
Yes. Well, it would be a 3 out of 10 because he was still in it.
So if he goes Boner, then it's
Yeah.
a 9 out of 10.
Oh my God. Oh.
there you go. I put it in Slack. I don't know if I should put it in the chat.
Oh. Okay, she was voted the most famous person from Delaware.
Hmm.
Who voted
Wonder,
on that, though?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wonder like
Delawareans.
Huh. All right. Well,
Okay.
interesting.
I stand corrected, Dave. Thank you.
Well, no, that doesn't solve it, man, because you said I'm prone to do that. So that's a deeper issue.
I said I think you would do that. I didn't say you're
Yeah,
prone
that's
to do
that.
that.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Because
it's a deeper
of
issue
your-
that you're gonna
of
have to
your
work it out over
enjoyment
the
of-
next 7 years.
Of your enjoyment of Aubrey Plaza.
What?
Because you
That's
like
right.
her so much.
Yes.
Is what he said.
Oh, she's fantastic. Yeah.
No, she
Yeah.
is.
She is.
Parks and Rec is phenomenal. She's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of.
But I was looking forward to like 7 years of therapy right there, working through that. What we just did.
She did a bunch of skits for College Humor too, back in the day.
College Humor. That
Yeah.
had to be like before she got famous.
Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah, I think I don't even know if she had been on Parks and Rec yet. But they did like a what if Dora the Explorer was an adult before the Dora the Explorer movie that Nickelodeon had put out. College Humor did one with her playing Dora. They also had her being like a Daria in real life.
Was Parks and Rec, was that going on at the same time as Legion?
No, Parks and Rec was done before Legion started.
Okay.
And isn't Legion the guy from Legion? Isn't he the guy doing not Rick and Morty, but the Solar Opposites voices? Is that the same guy?
David Haller?
That I don't know. I'm not sure.
But
Maybe
and
I got
I
it wrong.
have not looked that up.
I've said this before and I will say it again. The dance battle scene from Legion is some of the best television ever made. And if anyone
show
says
was,
otherwise,
It was so weird, but it was phenomenal.
okay, it's 9:35, gentlemen. We
Yeah,
have
Dan
a
Stevens, yeah.
we have a choice here. We could raid somebody, or
Oh boy, you've got another choice for us.
we could watch the Captain America: Brave New World trailer.
Well, I think we definitely need to. If you're gonna have us sit through Agatha all along, then you definitely need to show Brave New World. Come on, Keith, if that even
He
really
was saving it for last.
Of course.
To put it in song, you
you
go and
silly little
save
Billy.
the best for last. Sometimes the Hulk turns red. Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert.
I'm sorry. Who is this Red Hawk?
what is a Red Hulk?
I don't know.
You gotta love Harrison being Harrison Ford.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, are you gentlemen ready?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache, lose the election. You and I haven't always
Such a Marvel
agreed
thing to
in the
do. I
past.
love that
But
so
I
much.
wanna
That's why I
make
made that short, just because it's just like them when they're going to do a character replacement, that they're going to like subtly call attention to it.
Do you think that Harrison Ford said, "I will play Thunderbolt Ross, but I
I'm not
refuse
doing
to
a
have a
mustache."
mustache"?
Oh, definitely. I can see him at the negotiating table, like, look, here's my stipulations. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm not doing.
They were like, "Well, Thunderbolt Ross, signature mustache." Okay, see you guys later. Wait, whoa, whoa,
Right.
whoa, whoa.
No, wait.
Let's talk about this.
Fine, you don't have to have a mustache, but we're gonna have a comment in the thing. Fine, I don't care. Write whatever you want. I'll say the words you write. I don't care.
The run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage a situation, then what happens?
Work with me, Sam.
We saw a few things there. One, we saw Giancarlo Esposito's character, who some are saying is George Washington Bridge, a SHIELD agent from the comics. I don't know if you guys saw this. Giancarlo has said the other day, no one has guessed what character he's playing yet that he has seen. And Vigilante Vibes today had a really tremendous thought.
Okay.
Because if it's not George Washington Bridge, like people have been guessing, I almost thought was confirmed at this point. If he hadn't seen it, and what he said was true, and said no one I've seen has guessed it yet, Vigilante Vibes said Jacob Fury.
Oh. Okay.
I was like, that's good, because
That is. I certainly wouldn't have thought of that.
George, Washington Bridge, while a cool character and a nice SHIELD agent, Jacob Fury has ties to Scorpio and all of these other plot lines from Marvel Comics that they could dig in with Giancarlo if that is the case. So,
He did say it was going to be an ongoing role.
yes.
Yeah.
He did say it was a big part. So
And so he said something about a Disney Plus series. Now, I don't know
Yeah,
about
he did.
with his character. I think Jacob Fury makes a lot of sense. So I really do hope that is the case.
Going back to Harrison Ford real quick, I just had a thought. I'm going to be so disappointed to see a Red Hawk without a mustache.
Maybe the
They
role
can
will
CGI
have the
mustache
mustache.
on him.
That would be so dumb, but I love it.
We'll show the world a better way forward.
Yeah, you're back. Oh, and you're gone.
Oh, hey, wow. His internets are not doing well tonight. But, we saw... Oh, I almost forgot to mention, too, when we were talking about... We also saw Tiamat from the Eternals a little while ago. So, all the people saying, oh, they've totally forgotten about this. Marvel has dropped the ball. It looks like we will be getting... we've heard rumors that that was going to be made out of adamantium. And there's going to be sort of a rush to collect it. So, we'll see if that is the case. But we do see it in this trailer. So everyone wondering what happened to that giant Eternal that was coming out of the Indian Ocean, we will see it in this movie.
My thoughts on that are, I wouldn't mind if Marvel kind of quietly pushed the Eternals under the rug and swept them under there and pretended like it didn't happen. But I would be disappointed if they also removed the Celestials from that, because I think that is such an interesting concept on its own. I would love to see them be more of a possible, on one hand, a big bad, but on the other hand, just kind of like a big, um, they aren't really good or bad. They're just, they view every one of these planets as like specks, bugs.
A universal force.
Yes, I would love to see that where, you've got these essentially gods in the universe, and I kind of hope Marvel explores that more if they want to expand again into the um, you know, uh, outer space of it all.
And in this little scene, we do see Isaiah Bradley going a little bit Winter Soldiery. Like
Yeah.
there was some keyword that, and once again, nice timing on releasing the trailer with someone shooting at the president in this trailer.
Really weird. Really weird timing.
But it looked like something triggered him to go off. So I wonder if we're going to see, I don't know if it'll be Hydra per se, but it could have been some deep embedding. We don't know
Yeah.
Isaiah Bradley's history in World War II and everything, post or pre Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that off. And, that poor guy who, they sent me in this and they just forgot about me and, led my way. And I was hoping he would get some redemption. It doesn't look like he's going to. It looks like he's going to be, probably a scapegoat for some of the stuff that's going on. And we do see a little hint of who the big bad for this is later. And I'm not talking about Rolk. We do see Samuel Stearns as the leader, who I think is probably going to be the one that turns Thunderbolt into Rolk, but also kind of leading things where he needs to go. He's probably the one that has done this to Isaiah Bradley. And if we get Isaiah Bradley, I hope we get Eli Bradley too, who we did see
I
Falcon
hope
and
so,
the Winter
too.
Soldier, who for those of you playing the home game, he is the Patriot in the Young Avengers. So it'd be nice to see him here to hopefully be leading into a Young Avengers program at some point.
And based on I hate to bring up, a less than stellar movie, but it makes me think of that end credit scene of the Marvels where we had where we had her basically acting as like the Nick Fury kicking down a door in order to, set up what we assume is going to be the Young Avengers.
Kate Bishop.
Well, I thought I saw that they are not so high on the Young Avengers idea anymore, but we're still watching the preview, so I'll look it up.
I did.
I
No, I
wouldn't be
did.
surprised, but I hope not.
I did see that also. That nothing has been confirmed, and I guess we'll find out more at San Diego Comic-Con and D23 coming up. If we don't hear any sort of announcement about a Young Avengers project, I think we'll feel that was pretty accurate. Whatever they thought before, they've sort of switched up. They pivoted away from it, possibly.
Okay.
Sir, your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to. What if it's a trap? Global power.
And right there is what I'm talking about. That is Samuel Stearns from the Incredible Hulk movie, way back in line, and I think he's going to be the one putting this all together. We kind of saw him walking through some labs and stuff, and I think that's going to be the leader's lab. For those of you who don't know, Samuel Stearns is the leader. Now, we can't see it here, and I'm sure they're saving it for a different reveal, but he's got a giant head. His gamma radiation sort of turned him into a very intelligent person. The Sister Sage of the Marvel Universe, we'll say.
If you will.
You're just a pawn.
From behind, it looks like the ghouls from Fallout.
Say that again, Dave?
I said from behind, he kind of looks like the ghoul from Fallout.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. What the hell was I just going to say? I don't remember. Oh, and obviously, I think very, I don't know the word I'm looking for here, but very this trailer has very Winter Soldiery vibes. Since that was such a very popular movie, I think they're definitely trying to, catch that in this thing. For those of you that don't know, I don't know how much we've talked about it on our channel, but this went through a ton of reshoots. Originally, the Serpent Society was supposed to be a part of it, and supposedly they were written out in the reshoots. Now, we don't know whether they are or not. Obviously, they were not shown in this trailer, but they definitely do have a wintery vibes feeling to this trailer.
Wintery vibes, Winter Soldiery vibe.
Winter soldiery vibes, yes, and wintry vibes. It's very cold. You see the cherry.
okay.
You see the cherry trees, and it reminds me of cold.
Oh, yeah.
Did
sure.
they buy
All
it?
right.
Did they buy it? I hope so. Oh, let's get back to the trailer.
This old white leaf.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
That was a really cool transition. I liked that. Him throwing the shield, and then you just see like the corner of the White House getting carved off, like, or the Capitol building.
Is it safe to say that that is a trailer trick, and he did not destroy the White House?
I'm
with
pretty
a shield?
sure he did not. I just think it was a cool transition. I enjoyed it.
Agreed.
Maybe Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
That is such a good line too. I love that.
And I think this is one of those scenes, it was hinted at earlier, and what happens when we disagree on how a situation should be handled.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's President Thunderbolt Ross saying, well, you're not Steve Rogers. We don't have to listen to you. And he's going to show that he is also Captain America. There was a reason Steve Rogers picked him. At least I hope.
I hope so too.
And I love this scene with, you see the
That's
cherry.
everything he does, just slower.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. He doesn't have the super soldier suit. I love this scene with his wings extended. You see the cherry
Yes.
trees in the background.
I was gonna say one of my favorite aspects of him is the fact that he incorporates his tools that he used as the Falcon into his new role as the new Captain America. I think it would be stupid of him to not use what he does best.
Exactly.
Is that the Quinjet coming down in front of him?
It definitely looked like it. And we do see some jets there, flying around. And one of the things that we heard early rumors is that there's going to be an international incident at the beginning of this film. And I wonder if Captain America may be a part of it, and him taking down that jet. Because I think they try to make you think that that's an American jet, and he's like sort of on the run from the Americans. I think this may be early in the film, and it could be a Russian jet or a Chinese jet or something, a Wakandan jet, who knows? And, it's all kind of this international incident that kind of kicks off the movie, right after his Captain America is made a military position by President Ross. Because you can't really see any of the markings, on the plane. It goes too fast, and I'm sure they trailer tricked it if they have the CGI completed on it anyway, so you couldn't really tell what it is. But it'd be interesting to see what that plane actually is.
Now, when is this supposed to come out again?
February 14th, 2025.
So we're definitely going to get a few more trailers before then.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Definitely.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, this is just a teaser. We'll get a full trailer at some point.
I am wondering what other Marvel characters are going to pop in, and I bet you any money, like a month or so, or maybe 2 weeks before the film actually drops, I bet we're going to get a trailer, and they're going to, at the very end of it, you're going to see from the feed up the reveal of some character, like maybe the new Black Panther or Ant-Man or something. We'll show them, and everyone will be like, ah!
See, and I think the fact that the leader is involved, we may see the Hulk, we may see She-Hulk, and we may especially see the leader maybe changing Professor Hulk up a little bit and getting more of a Savage Hulk back into the MCU. Because
If that is Jacob Fury, then you probably see, Nick Fury.
Yep. But I think this film may kick into gear events that could turn into a World War Hulk type thing.
That would be cool.
Where the leader brings back the Savage Hulk, and maybe we have to have the Avengers sort of try to corral him in or something. So, wishful thinking, but obviously nothing was shown here that would just all guesses on my part. But let's see that end scene. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. How much of this movie will be a musical?
I think only like 45%. You know, could get up to 47, but that's it. Majority of the movie is non-musical numbers. From what I
45
hear,
and 46. Interesting you chose those numbers.
oh, I didn't even think of that. Wow, that wasn't even intentional. But from what I hear, Harrison Ford's musical number that kicks off the movie is Oscar worthy. It's probably going to win Oscar, all the EGOT. And I don't know how you can do that from a movie, but this is going to do that.
It's going to be this generation's Paint Your Wagon.
Yes. Yes, it is. See, Doug knows. Doug's heard it all too. Okay, are we ready for that final scene?
Yes.
You know, I was kind of happy they showed that because he looks pretty good. Which, once again, I don't think the CGI is anywhere close to being done for this movie, considering it's, 6 months away from coming out?
Right.
Is that right? But Rolk looked pretty good. You know, and obviously we didn't see his face, and I'm sure they're going to be using motion capture from Harrison Ford to kind of do it. But it looked good. And I love the fact that he just grabs the shield and just throws it in the ground like, you know, it's a plaything. And obviously Sam Wilson hasn't had as much time perfecting the art of throwing it as maybe, you know, Steve Rogers did. And I think if he's fighting Rolk, he may need some buddies to help.
Yeah, they shown over and over again. You can't take down a Hulk by yourself unless you're Thanos.
And so, you know,
and who knows? Maybe they've even improved on the formula since then.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, we may see, you know, the Red Hulk has, you know, different. He has like the ability to really go thermal or something where he can. Can't remember exactly what he does, but he much like Miles Morales has some different powers than Spider-Man. Rolk has some different powers than the Incredible Hulk too. So it'll be interesting to see, but I don't want them to, oh, Thunderbolt Ross, you're the president. You can't destroy everybody. Oh, you're right. I'll calm down and I'll do it. You know, I want to see, like, if we get a Savage Hulk versus Red Hulk in this little battle, that'll probably be worth the price of admission, hopefully.
So, Thunderbolt Ross, one-term president?
Sounds like it. Because I'm sure Harrison Ford's contract was, I'm doing one movie. And
you're going to kill me in the end.
Or I wonder if he'll come back as Red Hulk, but he won't come back as Thunderbolt Ross.
I don't know.
Someone said he did sign a 2-picture deal.
Really? How did they get that out of him?
That has not been confirmed. Because people are thinking he's going to be in this and the Thunderbolts. But there's been no confirmation of him being in Thunderbolts, and it has wrapped filming. No one saw him on set. So,
okay.
He's the asterisk.
Yes. Dave just figured it out. That's right.
I figured it.
Thunderbolts.
I got it, man.
Harrison Ford's other MCU movie.
They can't hide from me, man. I saw it. I know it.
Well, Dave, consider you're in the writer's room with your buddy Kevin Feige.
Right. I shouldn't be saying anything. I'm sorry.
Well, now out of the 2 trailers we saw, which I was really surprised, we got 2 MCU trailers like a week and a half before San Diego Comic-Con. Makes me wonder what they're going to talk about. Probably new projects. We might get the Avengers 5 title now that it's no longer the Kang Dynasty. Find out maybe who the director is, because supposedly this movie is supposed to start filming in 2025.
Now, didn't I hear, I'm not saying it's for this movie, but didn't I hear that they were in negotiations again with the Russo brothers to do some more MCU?
I think I heard that too.
That was said, but nothing's been confirmed. And there was a rumor today that Sean Levy, who is the director of Deadpool and Wolverine, has been offered an Avengers movie if he wants it. which makes me think that him, Deadpool and Wolverine, he's going to be handling a bunch of characters very well. So it leads them to think he can handle that. So hopefully it's true.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to outdo, Endgame and Infinity War, because they just had the right amount of each character. It's just like, it's flawless the way they did it.
You're not wrong. And that's been the biggest problem since that. It's not like the MCU's been terrible. It just hasn't lived up to...
It's been a bit of a downgrade from what we're used to.
Yeah.
Especially with, prior films that came out. Like, they really did something so phenomenal to the point where, like, every other studio was trying to copy, what they were doing. Like, you've got Sony and you've got Warner all trying to make their own cinematic universes and everything just to try and compete with Disney and Marvel, because they did something that had not really been, accomplished to this level before.
Yep. And let's hope that we're getting back on track here. Everyone's saying that seeing Deadpool and Wolverine, that it's saving the MCU, which it wasn't bad. It doesn't need saving either. I just hope it's good, and we leave that theater excited about future projects.
I think if Deadpool and Wolverine, whether it was, being done by Disney Marvel or if it was still being done by Fox Marvel, I think it would have been good either way. No. Because those movies can't fail. I'm just there.
Ryan
Reynolds is just too good at this.
He loves the character of Deadpool and he understands it. So you're right. If Deadpool 3 would have been a Fox X-Men movie, it still would have been good.
Oh yeah. By the way, when we first heard the rumor that there was going to be a Red Hulk appearance in this film, every single time we would talk about it or mention it or whatever, the image in my head that always pops up is General Tracer from the Venture Bros. Because he was directly inspired by Thunderbolt Ross, and there's this one scene where he had just turned back into a human, and everyone's like, "Whoa, what the heck was that?" He goes, "Yeah, you caught me. I'm a Hulk." He just says it so nonchalant, and I'm just so amazed to this day that they got away with that. That they made, a Thunderbolt Ross look like. B, that they actually had him turn into a Red Hulk. And then he's just so nonchalant. Yep, I'm a Hawk. You guys found out.
All right, let's move on. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
But out of the two trailers we saw today, which one did you like more? Which one are you more excited for?
I think I'm most excited for the Captain America movie.
I agree.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Agatha is going to be good. I think it's better than what we thought it was going to be, at least on its surface. Based on the trailer, it appears that it's going to be better than what we initially thought. But if it turns out it's a secret musical, I'm going to be a little upset.
Nope, sorry, no disclaimer. We have it on film. We're making a clip of Doug saying Agatha is going to be good. This is your Morbius. If it's terrible, we're like,
God.
"Oh, Doug
Right,
said
right.
it's gonna be great, unbelievable."
Oh, shit.
We'll just keep running.
Never gonna live it down.
Yeah, I still don't have any faith in their TV shows until they prove that they've got something that's a little bit more than a 5 or a 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm gonna think it's gonna be, like 5 or a 6.
Well, look, I don't know if it could ever be as good as Madam Web. That's the only thing. That's my litmus test.
They should have made Madam Web into a TV show. That would be awesome.
Oh my God! Wow, just really drag on the torture. Oh, that'd be beautiful.
15
Yeah,
episodes.
Sony, do it. Listen to Dave. Break Madam Web up. Add all those missing scenes. Turn it into a 26 episode season.
Make it make sense.
Now you're asking too much, Dave.
And redub everyone.
I want to see every minute of that car drive in a stolen cab to Peru.
Right,
I want to see that.
As she drives down to Venezuela or wherever the hell it was.
That's an entire season. Just the drive there. The conversations they have. And, hey, do you want to stop at this Buc-ee's? Yeah, let's go in for a few minutes.
making her CD, her mixed CD that she's gonna listen to.
Yeah. You want your Zarg nuts or what?
But no, yeah, I am looking forward to the Captain America movie. It'd be nice to have another good Marvel movie, and this looks like it's going to be really good.
Once again, I pray it's not a trailer trick because we've seen a lot of. It's really weird. Sometimes you get these trailers that blow you away, and then the end product isn't that good.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get a trailer that's kind of lackluster, and you end up enjoying the movie. It's so hard to tell. It's impossible to say by a trailer if it's going to be good or not. But at least it feels like they got the tone right in the trailer. And I hope that leads.
You can really tell. In a Zack Snyder trailer, you can tell that the movie's going to be bad. Even though the trailer's good, you're going to know that the movie's not going to be good.
This is the best part of that movie. That's terrible. But should we find someone to raid, gentlemen?
You sure you don't have anything else?
Or, I'm kidding.
I did buy a lottery ticket.
I really wish I would have had one more thing, but there's not. I'm shocked we had two. Like I said, I was. We heard, like Sunday, when Doug and I were on, and I said, rumor is that there's going to be an Agatha trailer tomorrow. We were both like, okay. Then it came out, and then people were saying, people were saying, oh, there's the Captain America Brave New World trailer dropping Thursday. And I'm like, why are they dropping all this stuff before San Diego Comics? San Diego Comic-Con is like in a week and a half. And then when it didn't come out on Thursday, I'm like, okay, people just BS. And then it drops on Friday, and I'm like, what the hell is going on with this place?
And who was it that you said ended up missing out on? Oh my gosh, what movie was it? You said they did.
Oh, heavy spoilers. He had tickets to go see that first 40 minutes of Deadpool and Wolverine, and he didn't go because he wanted to break down the trailer if it dropped.
Whoops.
Yep.
Well,
sorry, Paul.
At least he didn't want the first 40 minutes spoiled for himself when he goes to see it, the full-length film.
Well, he wants to spoil it he's a heavy spoiler, He wants to.
You're right.
He's mad. He's like, I could have spoiled it all for him. Those bastards.
That's true.
So let's see. Oh, Bubel is playing Elden Ring. Macaw, 45.
Jinxie, just chatting.
Who is Jinxie?
We've rated Jinxie before, I think.
We did?
I don't see her on my list.
Crystal D.
Is she who we rated last week? Or on Sunday or whatever?
No,
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday, Sierra gave us somebody to raid.
Yeah, that's right.
But it wasn't Crystal D or whatever. It was Live and Love or something. I forgot. It was like a weird name.
That Love X whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how about Bubble?
Sounds good to me. I love watching Elden Ring, so that's never a problem for me.
The channel on YouTube, Flash Gets, they released another Elden Ring video, and they were making fun of some Twitch streamer that apparently is known as the worst at Elden Ring, with like 500 some odd deaths.
Oh, good thing I haven't streamed Elden Ring. Because you can fall off cliffs in that too.
Yes, you can.
Not that I have. So I've heard. But all right, we're going to raid Bubble. And for those of you on YouTube, this is obviously a Twitch thing, but we'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight, watching us, commenting. We love it when you guys chat. We will be back Thursday night to talk about tonight's episode of Hot D, also known as House of the Dragon. Looking forward to that. So make sure you join us again. And if you're on YouTube, please give us a like, subscribe to us. It costs you nothing, and it helps out the channel tremendously. And hopefully we'll see y'all Thursday.
fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.